welcome to W3L Unlocked, a special show right here on the W3L network, just to help you pass the time while you're having to self-isolate and stay indoors. Now of course we can't bring you live W3L action right now, but we can bring you footage here on the network. That's exactly what Unlocked is all about. And I'm sure you know that we travel up and down the east coast of Scotland, even in the north of England. And we present shows everywhere, and we film every single show. And a lot of the matches we film end up as part of Wrestling Showdown every Sunday at 12 o'clock on the W3L network. But not every match makes it. So if you come along and see a live W3L event, you'll often get matches that only you, the fans in the building, get to see. Now we thought what might be a nice thing to do while, again, we're all stuck indoors, we'll bring you some of those matches that nobody has ever seen before. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to kick things off by going to Grangemouth, one of our favourite venues, and we'll have a match between two men that are no strangers to each other. It's the original Craig Stevens against Tier 0 Taylor Bryden.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe Fordyce bringing you the first of our matches here on W3L Unlocked, this network special edition event that we're bringing to you to help pass the time as we're all currently self-quarantined and locked indoors. So we've got a bunch of matches that have never seen the light of day, matches that only the live fans saw, and we were in Grangemouth with Taylor Bryden in the green taking on Craig Stevens in the grey with black knee pads. Bryden immediately in the waist-lock. Stab and switch. These two men are no strangers to each other. They've wrestled a few times in the past in varying live events. First time was at Remedy back in 2016 when they met in a six-man tag team match. Most recently was a Fight for Life last year, which is available on the W3L network to watch at your leisure. They met in that six-pack challenge, the winner getting a future heavyweight championship match. And it's actually Taylor Bryden that eliminated Craig Stevens from that contest. If you've seen it, you can at the end of fighting on the floor, with Craig Stevens being flung into a table at one point. Referee is just requesting the break. This has been mentioned before, of course, and people do get confused, but James is actually the twin brother of our breakout champion Roderick Jones, just in case you thought it was the same person, but it isn't. And Craig Stevens and Taylor Bryden, now look at this, tempers have become heated. Neither man wants to give up that lock up, and it's Bryden has changed it in the wrist lock. A bit of animosity between these two men, it seems like. Bryden takes no Stevens. They two met in the finals of 7 Deadly Sins in May last year. It was Craig Stevens won the match. Had to power slam Taylor Bryden through two chairs to do it, but he kept him down for the 10 count. And you can bet Bryden's not forgot that one. Both of them just encircle each other. And Bryden straight in the waist up and takes on Stevens. And Bryden made his debut at the end of 2005, whereas Stevens was in the middle of 2014. And Bryden's been around WFL really since the early days. He was a referee initially, and here's a claim to fame. The first match he had was against the man now known as Drew McIntyre. So we talk about starting at a high level. Bryden's early success came as part of the Disco Biscuits, arguably the most popular WFL tag team of all time, certainly one of them anyway, top three at least. And Stevens just pushed them at the corner, and they had a long reign with the tag titles, virtually 1 year 11 months, so just short of 2 years they held those belts. So Stevens a couple of forearms. He's a bit sick of being out wrestled by Taylor Bryden, so he's laying in the heavy leather, as they say. Bryden walks over him, arm drag. He's firmly in control. Stevens is a power wrestler, and yeah, he can move quickly, he knows how to wrestle, but he can throw you around with great ease. So it's probably a good move for Bryden to try and wear down the arm. Stevens likes the running power slam, but of course if you've got a back arm you can't pick somebody up. He grabs the ropes, Referee calls to the ring. Bryden breaks clearly. Hasn't always, quite frankly. He's had a strange career. That's Taylor Bryden. Oh, hang on! Go for the OTK quite early on. That's how he eliminated Craig Stevens from the 6-way fight for life. And Stevens got to the ropes. He's on the turnbuckle here. And go for it again. Bryden knows this will beat him. And Stevens knows it will beat him, so he's elbowing his way out. There's the power slam. That's what I was talking about. Oh, and then go for the OTK again. And Stevens rolls to the floor. Nearly had this match ended. His arm's not worn down that much as Craig Stevens has tried that power slam. Bryden trying for the OTK. As I mentioned, near 2-year tag team reign for Taylor Bryden. But then Mackie got hurt. The very good Mr. G. Mackie got hurt in July 2011. He had to take time off from W3L. Bryden went solo. One of a change of attitude. Wrestling as Martin Kirby, who was sadly recently retired from British Pro Wrestling. Somewhat changed his attitude and decided to do things on his own. He faced Mackie at Resolution 7 with Taylor Bryden and then left. He disappeared from W3L and we didn't see him again. He then reappeared in February of 2015 under a mask. Because if you were around then, if you've watched the archives on the W3L network of Wrestling Show, then you'll know Bryden came out under a mask. He and Dickie Divers decided to form the contingency plans, it would later be called. Bryden helped mastermind the whole thing. He turned under a mask, allowed Divers to win the golden ticket. They then cashed it in and then tagged the champions, the Coffee Brothers, during the intermission of a show as Craig Stevens continued to stall here, and they won the tag titles. And the plan held the titles 4 times all told. So that means Bryden's held the tag titles 5 times, which is a record in WWF. He's now got sick of waiting and chasing Craig Stevens round the ring. Oh, and avoided the elbow drop. And Bryden, not just a tag wrestler, although he's one of the best in WWF, but a very good single wrestler, as you can see. I set up the OTK yet again, and once more Stevens knows it. And look at this gouge in the eyes. So only way he could get out. And a knee right in the small of the back, and Bryden crashing into the corner heavily, and Stevens decided not to even bother wrestling, just stomping on him. This contingency plan have broken up. Problems with Divers and Bryden caused them to split. At Resolution 13 last year, it was Bryden took on James Scott, the other contingency plan member. He was annoyed at what had happened in his absence. And then Bryden made the save for Mackie, and Divers and Scott attacked him later on in the show. And since then it's been Mackie and Bryden as a tag team quite a lot. I saw them challenging Rage and Craigie for the tag titles in Showdown just back in February. But Bryden continued to go solo as he's here against the original Craig Stevens. He's had a strange career as Stevens, because as you may remember, oh, hold on! Roll up by Taylor Bryden! No, I couldn't quite do it. Stevens started off as a highly popular masked wrestler called Morado. He was taken under the wing of the very popular El Technico, man who was much missed here in WCL. And Stevens had a fair bit of success wrestling as Morado. Oh, what a hip toss! Launched him in the air with that. Very popular man. Biggest accomplishment was probably hitting the quarter-finals of 7 Deadly Sins back in 2015. But in the April the following year, he goes to the cover. He got a 1. Stevens had to unmask and wrestle as himself. He'd wrestled for other organisations, and we'd seen him get a slightly questionable attitude as well, but still, you know, playing by the rules in W3L. But eventually he took the mask off, went his own way, and then took some time off. And it was May of 2018 he returned at 7 Deadly Sins, got to the semi-finals, and then went on a tear throughout W3L. Let's not forget how he concussed Mike Musso back in March of 2019. So he takes the Taylor Bryden, ran him head first at the ring post. Actually did that at 7 Deadly Sins as well that year. And like I say, Craig Stevens and Taylor Bryden reached the finals of that. And it was Stevens that got victory and went on to Resolution 13 to challenge for the Heavyweight Championship of the cover. A championship has actually eluded Craig Stevens for all his time in WCL. Let's not forget the way he assaulted KG Nitro backstage at an event to steal his position in the Breakout Championship tournament. because the title was up for grabs then, and it was Stevens that got through, but thanks to Mike Musso, he ended up losing to eventual winner Roderick Jones. And Stevens has not forgotten that. This crowd chant for Taylor Bryden. It's quite bizarre because again, it wasn't that long ago they wouldn't have done that. But it's been a new lease of life for Taylor Bryden. He's embracing the fans. Beautiful dropkick. He's arguably wrestling better than ever. In for the cover, to a couple of seconds delay, maybe that cost him there. Because again, very popular as one of the Disco Biscuits, but has to be said, he was quite young, he's still learning, and he's put all that experience he's gained over the years into practice. He's got the fans on his side, he's become tier 0, and he's become so good. Stevens nearly beheads him though. Stevens is certainly getting better. Certainly physically he's goes to the cover. He's in the best physical shape of his life. As a personal trainer when he's not wrestling. He's sculpted, works out constantly, he's incredibly strong. If you've not seen his match against Roderick Jones for the Breakout Championship, watch it. Watch the superplex, that's all I'm going to say. If you've not seen it, watch it. It's amazing. And I see Stevens now applying that chin lock and lies down. So because Bryden's necking out at an odd angle, to stand up, get back to his feet, he's got to lift Stevens' body weight. He's managed to get back to his feet though. Stevens just in his position, will benefit that one. Bryden constantly fighting as well. Another back elbow. Again, Stevens so powerful. And those moments of yelling at Bryden cost him. He may have got the 3, but he took a couple of seconds to yell in his face. And Bryden was able to kick out. And the matches have been so far. It's only the first one of 4 we've got from here on Unlocked. And we hope you're all staying safe in these times of global pandemic. And while we can't bring you a live W3L event, we can certainly bring you stuff like this on the W3L network. And like it was nothing, like he was throwing a pillow around, Craig Stevens slams down Taylor Bryden yet again. Badmouth some. Maybe some focus is what Craig Stevens lacks. I think that's maybe a slight issue, is that he doesn't always concentrate fully on his opponents. Maybe that's why he's never held a title as of yet, but he's got to win the best people to ever hold a title, surely. Bryden front the floor. Of course, as always, we don't have mats up inside. So in the Town Hall in Grange with a solid wooden floor. Both these men have fought in Grange multiple times. Bryden actually wrestled when British wrestling legend Robbie Brooks in here in this very building. The count is being applied. Bryden's got until 10 to get back in. See, Stevens is biding his time at a slight rest. Going to the cover. He strategised. Bryden dragging himself up to help some of the fans. And he's just in and no more. And Stevens is not happy at all. Look at the way he's stomping all over him. The fighting spirit of Taylor Bryden. Go for a suplex. And down he goes, held with ease. She could have held him longer if he wanted to. Oh, the most cocky cover you've ever seen. A slightly better one. With a forearm across the face. Another. Stevens going for multiple pins there. None of them getting the job done. And he's getting frustrated. That's another hallmark of Craig Stevens at times. Go for it again. Vertical suplex. Oh, Bryden slides out. It's a reversal. And he kicks Craig Stevens in the face. And a backdrop. And Stevens nearly hit those ropes. It would have been a really bad landing if his legs had hit them, because it would have caused his body to pivot and possibly land on his head. Good move by Bryden though to hit that back body drop. And it's given him the opening that maybe he needs. He's getting some lungfuls of air, just taking a moment to clear his head. Stevens is probably reeling after that backdrop. And comes Bryden. He's a hard hitter, this Taylor Bryden, one of the hardest strikers in W3L. Also no slouch in the power department. He's really, really strong. Maybe he doesn't have the sculpted physique that Craig Stevens has, but pound for pound, Bryden's one of the strongest men in W3L, I would venture to say. Also so fast as well. If you want to talk about the most underrated man in W3L history, Taylor Bryden's got to be in that conversation. He's got to win the top of the list. Such a good tag team wrestler, as we've already said. He's former Wrestling Showdown champion as well. Surely a future W3L heavyweight champion. Surely that has to be there somewhere. He's such a good all-rounder as well. Just bides his time waiting. Steve just know where he is. And hits a DDT. Stevens tried to throw him off, but it wasn't happening. Kicks out though. Bryden hit that lovely DDT, always adding something new to his arsenal as well. I don't think we've ever seen him use that before. And Bryden has got a few more tricks up his sleeve. And that's just one of them, the OTK. It's that fireman's carry at the slam. He has beaten Stevens with that before. They'd love to do it again. He's biding his time. Maybe this is a bit of a mistake because it means Stevens is getting a chance to clear his head somewhat. And up he goes. Now we saw this earlier in the match and saw that earlier in the match. And a knee lift by Stevens. And look at the high speed that Craig Stevens runs in with. Northern Light suplex. Bridges out as well. Taylor Bryden's nearly done there. Okay, it's only the first of the matches we've got from here in W3L Unlocked. It's got a headline match anyway, couldn't it? Oh, Stevens. See, that's not going to do it. And stamping. What on earth is he going to set up for? Wow! Just kicked Bryden in the skull. He's knocked him unconscious. Craig Stevens wins. Wow, he doesn't. How on earth did Bryden kick out? Stevens just ran and kicked. Even Stevens can't believe it. He kicked Bryden in the side of the head. Again, Bryden's got so much experience. He's wrestled not just in W3L, that's been his main port of call, but also in a lot of other places as well. He's faced really the best that W3L has to offer, either in singles or tag ranks. Stevens goes for a butterfly DDT and drops her right in his head. Oh, Bryden's done. Bryden is done, and this is it. And yet again kicking out. He's been kicked in the head. He got dropped on. Stevens going for a cover again, and still Bryden fighting out and still kicking out. Where is he getting this from? How on earth is he managing this? And Stevens, I'm pulling at his hair. He does not know what to do because he's hit him with everything. So many power moves dropped him right in his head, and still Taylor Bryden will not stay down. And Stevens going to the floor. Look under the ring, and usually that means only one thing, and that is that the wrestler in question, in this case being Craig Stevens, has decided that wrestling isn't going to cut it. That power moves, that holds, and submissions aren't going to do the trick, and instead he has got himself a chair. He slowly returns to the ring while Taylor Bryden holding up the ropes, just going to keep himself up. And Stevens has grabbed a chair, and oh look, it's Mackie. It's a bit of Mr. UNG Mackie. Bryden's tag team partner seen what's going on, and he's climbed up the ring apron. Oh, he's grabbed the chair. He's disarmed Craig Stevens, and wisely so. Stevens is fuming at that, feeling that Mackie's interfered. And Mackie and Bryden watch each other's backs, that's understandable. But Mackie's retrieved the chair, still going to allow Craig Stevens to smash Bryden with it. Let's go for another running kick to the head. Oh, Bryden avoided it. Oh, and folds him up with a rag high. Folds him in half and gets the pin. Taylor Bryden scores the pinfall victory over Craig Stevens. That side rolling cradle. What a great contest.
Now, while W3L obviously can't provide you with live entertainment, you can help support us as we wait for all this to blow over and get back to doing what we do best. You can, of course, go to our website. You can buy a DVD and we'll send it out. You can buy a t-shirt as well. Or you can buy one of our fancy fan support packages. Now, there's different tiers and they range in price between £5 and £100. And each tier has something different. But they do include things like an exclusive signed poster, a DVD, ringside tickets in various amounts to whatever show you would choose. And you can also get a personalised video message for one of the stars of the Worldwide Wrestling League. Like I say, there's tiers to suit every pocket, so whatever you can afford. If you want to help support W3L, head up our website, W3LWrestling.com. You can purchase a fan support package. Full details on the website. Hopefully you can do that. Again, you can buy t-shirts and DVDs as well, and it helps us take over until we're able to bring you more live W3L action.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe Fordyce here with this Women's Championship contest. There we see the defending champion Emily Hayden. She'll be taking on the challenge of Rosie Nyte. The referee having a hard time getting that belt. Emily Hayden, she likes to cause grief wherever she goes. The old adage about she could start an argument and nothing to do is definitely true. But will it be enough for her to get past Rosie Nyte? And we shall see as this match goes on. She's arguing with the audience. Emily Hayden argue with anybody. But she has proved to be a success, has to be said. You know, the referee just trying to make his pre-match checks, but Hayden doesn't really want to put his hands on her. To be honest, I can't blame her. They're just giving up. I think we're going to have the bell and get the match underway. So of course your challenger Rosie Nyte, and not somebody we see a huge amount of here in WTL. She appeared a few times. In May 2018 was when she made her debut, ironically in this very building here in Grangemouth. And she's only been on a few shows, but she's become really popular, has to be said. They fought twice here in WTL. They met in Wrestling Showdown in the August of 2018. Emily Hayden, who wasn't the champion at that point, took on Rosie Nyte. And then on a 5-year anniversary special, which I'm sure you saw in December, back as part of Wrestling Showdown, Emily Hayden managed to retain the Women's Championship against Rosie Nyte, but that was then, this is now. You can see Hayden arguing with everybody. It seems there's times when she would rather Rosie Nyte having a seat. Might as well, maybe here a while. There's times when it seems as if Hayden would rather argue with the audience than actually have to face her opponent. It's just part of what she does though, part of her tactics, it's part of the way that she's become a 2-time women's champion. She will talk a lot, she will moan and complain, and at that moment when you suddenly turn away and roll your eyes in exasperation, she'll attack you. This crowd not on her side at all. Nyte, however, does have some championship success. She wrestles a lot throughout the west of Scotland and the northeast of England. She's held a championship down there, so she does have a good pedigree thing. And her and Emily Hayden both actually wrestled in Ireland back in December. So these two have wrestled before, so they do know each other. It'll be interesting to see. Emily Hayden's pulled out a gun, albeit a metaphorical, made of 2 fingers, but she's pulled out a gun. And now, oh no, hang on, she can't threaten the referee. Oh, it's a stat, and Rosie Nyte's got one, and Emily Hayden's got 2. And referee Jamie Jones doesn't know what the hell to do. We've now got a 3-way standoff. Hayden and Nyte have got guns. I didn't think you'd be seeing this here on W3L Unlocked. Many apologies. I wasn't expecting a firefight to break out if there was going to be a wrestling match. Hopefully they're going to lower them. We can actually get some, put them away. The referee did a terrible job of not checking for firearms. And he did his pre-match checks in this match. We'll have to speak severely to him about that. And Hayden got the better of that exchange and goes to the first pinfall of the match. I can't believe it. After all the arguing and all the waving guns around, the wrestling match is broken out. And Emily Hayden sending Rosie Nyte across the ring. Nyte showing some athleticism. Oh, the head scissors gets up ahead of steam. And Emily Hayden goes flying. And that is why Rosie Nyte has become so popular so quick in her career. And she's got things going her way. There's that rolling neck snap. Terry Taylor used to use that one to great effect. And she goes for a cover, but it's not going to quite get it done as of yet. Emily Hayden debuted for W3L back in July of 2016, challenging for the Women's Championship, albeit unsuccessful. She was actually quite popular back then, played by the roles, was a nice smiley woman, fans liked her. There's a back heel trip, takes the Rosie Nyte. But her attitude changed as time went on. In Resolution 12, of course, she battled Jayla Dark for the then vacant Women's Championship. It was Emily Hayden, goes to the cover here, end up cheating, rake Jayla Dark in the eyes and rolled her up for the pin and got the title. Dark not happy but went after her. I'm sure you've seen their matches, there's a lot of them up on WTL Network. Check out Remedy for example, you'll see what I mean. And Hayden would always find a way to cheat to retain the title. But then, on Wrestling Showdown back in May of last year, we met in a tag team contest. It was decreed that championships would be put up for grabs, and in that match Jayla Dark pinned Emily Hayden to become the new women's champion, and it awakened something in Emily Hayden that thankfully we've not really seen since, and she developed a really sadistic streak. She got disqualified against Anastasia and Jayla Dark in different matches for attacking them with chairs. We saw a chair in the last match. We can go for another cover here, but this basically led to Dark versus Hayden, Resolution 13 last year in a street fight. The first ever street fight, and I think the only one that Emily Hayden's ever been in. And she defeated Jayla Dark, became the new two-time WTL Women's Champion. That vicious streak's been kind of put to one side, it has to be said. But she's still continuing to feud with Anastasia. She's cheated to retain the title against her a number of times. Anastasia's been after her for that. If you've watched recent weeks of Showdown, you know exactly what I am talking about. He's with a couple of kicks. Hayden's got trapped in those ropes. We saw the lumberjack match with Anastasia and then Hayden was recently. Rosie Nyte climbed the top rope. She's biding her time. Hayden's a fair distance across the ring. Hayden comes charging in. And she caught her. And Rosie Nyte just sinking down, using the rope to hold on to. So Emily Hayden does have an edge in the experience, and a little stronger as well. And they're certainly showing a propensity for cheating. But in fairness to Emily Hayden, it's worked for her. And you see she goes for constant pinfalls. Every time her opponent's down, she goes for a pin. Every time she's got the chance to end this match, she goes for a pin. And that is how you be a success. You win matches by pin, generally, or submission. But again, she will break the rules, choking Rosie Nyte on those ropes. There's a lot of tension in those ropes as well. Hayden just mocking her somewhat. And it shows the confidence Hayden has in herself and her abilities that she would do that. We saw Craig Stevens get frustrated in the last match when things weren't going his way. But Hayden's got things going her way and her ego is expanding by the second. Under a cover. And yet again, Rosie Nyte kicking out. Now say what you want about her, doesn't have the experience that Hayden has, and maybe hasn't had the success overall that Hayden has had, certainly hasn't been in WTL as much as Hayden has. But Rosie Nyte is not one to quit. And she often says it's a continuous road, and that's definitely what it is, and she keeps moseying on down at one foot after the other, and she does not give up. She's kicked out of everything so far. She's taken all this choking on the ropes and all the holds and moves that Hayden has done to her, and she keeps fighting back. She has a burst of energy, rolls out the way, hits the forearm, maybe flattens the ref. I'm sure nobody would be sad about it. She's trying to clear her head, get that second wind. Oh, vaults over the ropes and smacks her with a forearm. Emily Hayden's reeling. And Rosie Nyte, when she gets up ahead of steam, she can go with the best of them. Just goaded Hayden in, kicked in the face. And just poised in that middle turnbuckle. Oh, and it's a DDT. She's obviously watching Taylor Bryden. But just the two. I think Emily Hayden's mistake there was she stopped and ducked, thinking that Rosie Nyte was going to come off with maybe a flying body press, but Nyte waited, just held on a second or two, and of course that meant that Hayden was in the position that she needed it at the end. And if she hit the DDT, it was a headbutt by Emily Hayden. I'm not going to say she's hard-headed, but there we are. Hoist over the shoulders. Now Hayden's got a bunch of moves she likes to use. The Oathkeeper and Oblivion. It's that fireman's carry big splash combination, of course. Nyte hits the DDT. Wow, this could end it. She's got her folded up. That's arguably the closest fall off the mat. Certainly the best opportunity Nyte has had. But it doesn't happen. Emily Hayden still kicking out. And the crowd firmly on the side of Rosie Nyte. You can totally understand why. She is so popular, so much fun. And squashes her against the ropes. And flips her down. That's the combination I was talking about. Oathkeeper and Oblivion. But it's not Oblivion for Rosie Nyte. She is still firing on all cylinders. Kicks out. See by her body language, she's maybe a little sore with the wind knocked out of her by Emily Hayden crashing down upon her. But she's still fighting. She's still not beaten yet. Now Hayden throwing a tantrum. We've seen this happen before when she doesn't get her own way, when things don't go as she expects them to. Now she's got her hoisted up. Could this be the ever after? Well, it's not going to be because Nyte gets out of it. But Hayden gouging at her eyes. Go for it again. And plants her with the ever after. Is this going to spell the end of it for Rosie Nyte? And it does. Emily Hayden scores the pinfall victory and retains the Women's Championship over Rosie Nyte. Hits the ever after and gets the victory here on W3L Unlocked.
I want to take a moment to say thank you to the people that were due to sponsor our events in the month of April that obviously have had to be postponed to later in the year. Firstly, I want to say thank you to Cushies in Dunfermline. They sponsored us before and they were due to do it again. Currently, Cushies in Dunfermline have been delivering food to the emergency services free of charge. doing their bit during this worldwide pandemic. So get in touch with Cushies, tell them we said hello, show them some support as well. Now, while we're meant to stay at home, I appreciate you may need to travel to go off shopping, for example. And if you've got a problem with your car and you're in the Borders area, then hit up our two sponsors down there, White Autotech and Blacks of Stitchell. Both are fantastic businesses and they will get you and your car sorted, whatever the issue might be. Again, get in touch, show some support and tell the W3L sent you along. And of course, it would be remiss not to thank the amazing Crafty Connoisseur who are sponsoring every live W3L event this year. Their website is still active, and if you go on and make a purchase and use the code STAYSAFE, you can get free delivery on orders over £20. So you can purchase something from them, help them continue going as well, and you'll get sent to your door so you don't even need to leave the house. So that's our sponsors, Crafty Connoisseur, Cushies, White Autotech and Blacks of Stitchell. Thank you to all of them. And of course, if you ever want to sponsor a W3L event, and you can when this is all over and we're back in action, get in touch and we'll tell you how you can go about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe Fordyce here with you for this next match here on W3L Unlocked. And we've got the very good Mr. Euan Mackie in his traditional black and green colour scheme, taking on KJ Nitro. Somebody who's still fairly new to W3L, has been appearing more and more often. Made his W3L debut back in 2019, although he has been wrestling prior to that, mainly around the Dundee area. Now we saw him challenging for the Breakout Championship on Wrestling Showdown in October of last year. He's given it a good account of himself. Teamed up with Brian Frank to take on the Tag Team Champions Raging Krieger Fight for Life last year. So I mean, he's been mixing up with some of the champions and the bigger name stars in W3L. He's actually meant to be part of the tournament to crown a new Breakout Champion when that was vacated, but was attacked by Craig Stevens backstage at an event and therefore could not compete. And I know he's been kind of unhappy about that. Feels that he may have got through at the finals, perhaps he would be the Breakout Champion now. Of course, we will never know. Perhaps we'll get a future Breakout Championship match, who can say. There's Mackie just rolling under him. It's confusing Nitro. It looks like Nitro wants to just wrestle him, but Mackie wants to play around. And I mean, there's nobody quite like Mackie, is there? The most unique man in all of pro wrestling, easily. And now it's Nitro rolled through. Well, Mackie's going for the wrestling now, not waste up. He may not be large in stature as Mackie, but he is incredibly strong. He's got a very strong core and would surprise you with his power. Nitro not looking what he's saying. These two men actually met on Showdown back in March. We got a one-on-one contest as Mackie gets to grips with Nitro again. Got to grips with him in that match as well. Oh, Nitro jumps him from behind. Had enough. Clearly decides that he wants this match over with. He just dumps Mackie down. It's probably a good strategy to stay on Mackie. He's one of the longest tenured members of the W3L roster. Been around since 2007 or so. Of course, quite early on, became one half the Disco Biscuits, as I mentioned during the Taylor Bryden match. Nearly 2 years they were champions as Mackie nails him, hits him with that heel, and out goes Nitro to the floor. So yeah, nearly 2 years they were champions, but Mackie got hurt in July of 2011 and lost the titles. And then Bryden went solo, and the team never really got back together again, as Mackie launched himself at Nitro, who caught him and runs with the post, and now dumps him on the apron. KJ Nitro is not playing around, has decided he's going all out. He's not happy with the result of his match back in March on Showdown, so wants the better Mackie here. Because Bryden, as I mentioned, he changed his attitude. He turned on the fans, started doing things himself. And he and Mackie wrestled each other at Wrestation 7. Mackie was out for the best part for a year from W3L after he got injured. So the landscape had changed and they wrestled each other, and it was Bryden that won the match. And something happened and Mackie changed, and it's like somebody flicked a switch inside him and he he started metamorphosing at the Goblin of the Skies. He started coming out with the head of Francois Martin, if you remember that. He used to bring ringside with him. He went on to form Sanctuary. There's a whole bunch of weird characters following him around. Turned on the audience. Was one of the most vicious competitors, as goes to cover, ever in W3L. Remember his long feud with Mike Musso. They battled until they constantly tried to blind Musso by spraying that effluence in his eyes. And even went as far as appearing on national television in an episode of Judge Rinder. As Nitro flattens Mackie face first into the canvas, could end it. And even sitting on his chest wasn't enough. So yeah, Mackie Musso appeared on ITV. Then teamed up with Tim Wiley for a while, challenged for the tag titles a few times, but success eluded him, and really his tag team run didn't really go very well for him. And back at Wrestling 13, he got a shot at the tag titles, picked Dickie Divers, his former tag team champion, and you'd think the two of them would be quite a good team, but it was not to be. Unfortunately, they lost the match, and Divers attacked Mackie, and then was joined by the returning James Scott. His vertical suplex by KJ Dre held him up for quite a while as well. Still can't put the layers yet. It was Bryden that made the save, and that's what has caused Bryden and Mackie to start teaming up again, as we've seen. But both men keep solo endeavours, of course, and making solo here on Unlocked. Mackie holding on. He's slugging away, trying to keep Nitro with him. Nitro obviously the bigger man. Certainly not the faster. Oh, hold on, Mackie. Now that was nice. Got the Casadora and adjusted his position so he could hit the build-up perfectly. But can't put down Nitro as of yet. And just smacks him in the back. Because Mackie can attack from so many different angles. We'll go for here. Lands a leg. That's a beautiful flying leg drop. And then no less a wrestler than former Impact Wrestling star Bram has complimented Mackie on that leg drop. Says one of the very best he has ever seen. Consider who Bram has wrestled when he's been. That's high praise indeed, let's be honest. Nitro reversing this. Oh, Falcon Arrow sits out. Oh, but repositions himself, puts weight across the shoulders. And that's not to be. I don't know if maybe he felt just reaching out and grabbing Mackie's leg from the sighting position wouldn't have been as effective. But regardless, it didn't get the job done. Mackie kicks out, the match will continue. I said before, Nitro quite like a shot at the Breakout Championship, or even the Showdown Championship. Is Mackie still looking at the tag titles? Who can say? I'm sure he'd take the opportunity if it was there. Get to his feet here. Here comes Nitro. Comes right in that back elbow. And surely it can't be long for Mackie's challenging for the Heavyweight Championship. He's currently held by Mike Musso, and the two of them have had their differences in the past. And up he goes, and Mackie wipes him out. Bounced off, goes back in for the cover, but that may have been the issue. If he'd stayed on him, maybe he could have got the fin, but we will not know. Instead, Mackie bounced off, immediately recovered up, but KJ Nitro kicked out. That's the thing about Nitro, he may not have had as many matches in W3L as some of the competitors, but he's shown that he's got the chops. He's always given a good accounting of himself, and I think sometimes he's just been unlucky more than anything else. Oh, Mackie descends upon him. Will this do it? Oh, no, it still doesn't. There's still quite strange in the crowds cheering for Mackie. Again, some of the things he did, some of his conduct was not something you could cheer for, let's be honest. Oh, it's the sail kick. And it nets him only a 2. Again, Nitro's kicked out some big moves. Mackie's got a lot of decent moves that he likes to employ. And Nitro has so far not been stopped by any of them. Mackie's taking a moment. And Nitro trying to recover. Mackie obviously doesn't where he wants him. Yeah, he's hooking him up. Going for the Misty Flip. But Nitro knew it. And he's got caught with it this time. And that's what it is. Lands the Misty Flip. And in for the cover. All this put down cage. No, it doesn't. It's one of Mackie's premier moves. Nitro tried to get out of it initially, but was caught in it after all. And got caught. Mackie got to clear the turnbuckles again. One of the best high flyers W3L is Mackie. I always thought he was a high flyer. Doesn't do a lot of moves off the top, but everyone he does is virtually crisp. And he comes. But this is sometimes where Mackie's lack of body weight hurts him. Oh, and down he goes. Crashes him down the canvas. And will this end it? Not yet, it won't. Mackie went for the body press. Nitro caught him. So again, Mackie, not the heaviest man in W3L by any means. And Nitro flipped him in that air raid crash. And now what's he thinking? He pointed to his head like he had an idea. Mackie was in the corner. Nitro's grabbed him and he's not going to do it on the apron, is he? Surely he's not going to do it on the apron. Oh, Mackie's getting out of it. And kicks at the knee, and Nitro lands on the floor. Bounced off the apron, that wasn't pleasant. Mackie ascent the top rope. I said he was a high flyer. And lands upon cagey Nitro. Dives him off the top rope with a plancher. Wipes him on the floor, referee going over to check on both men. And Mackie got the better of that. Nitro isn't even safe outside the ring from Mackie. And Mackie getting assistance from the audience. He didn't need to be asked twice. And the referee, I think there's a potential disqualification call here, isn't there? I mean, certainly it's up to the referee, it's his discretion. But perhaps deciding not to. And the referee is a little slow in getting back in the ring. And Nitro able to kick out after being stomped on by a large group of children. The very good Mr. Euan Mackie, the Pied Piper of W3L, looks like. Oh, it's going for that Misty Flip yet again. Oh, but hold on, Nitro! Wow! Cranks him round. And Mackie's all over the place and rolls to the corner. Now that is amazing ring awareness. That's great presence of mind. Look at this, Nitro just stomping on his head. Nitro's got some good moves. If Mackie hadn't rolled away, you never know. Mackie's out. Mackie's down, I think. The rolling cutter didn't help. And then having your head wedged in the hard ring apron in the sole of Nitro's foot. It's not particularly pleasant. Mackie may be out on his feet, isn't he? As he can cuss, perhaps. Oh, hold on, an inside cradle. And he wraps up Nitro and scores the pinfall. The very good Mr. Euan Mackie out of nowhere wrapped up Nitro with the inside cradle. That is taking advantage of the opportunity. That is being aware of what's... Oh, Nitro attacking him. Right after the match, KG Nitro attacking the very good Mr. Euan Mackie. Obviously annoyed, felt he had the match in the bag, but got beaten by that inside cradle. And that's a couple of times when he's lost to Mackie. And he's gone into the ring and he's grabbed the chair. That's one from earlier that Stevens used. And he's grabbed a second chair. And Mackie's defence doesn't know what's going on. And what on earth is he doing? And he's put it around Mackie's neck. Oh my god. Referee, get that chair off him. He's going to break Mackie's neck. He's got the other chair, he's going to break Mackie's neck. And the referee grabbing the chair. And here comes Taylor Bryden, trying to save his friend, his tag team partner. And KG Nitro Scarpers going right past the camera, getting the hell out of there. The very good Mr. Euan Mackie nearly came a cropper here on W3L Unlocked.
For more information on the World Wide Wrestling League and to purchase those amazing fan support packages, the best place to go is our website. It's W3LWrestling.com. That'll tell you all you need to know. You should sign to the mailing list while you are there. You should of course give us a like on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, join us over on Instagram, and of course subscribe to this very channel. Not only do we give you Wrestling Showdown every Sunday at 12 o'clock, but we've got W3L Unlocked like this, and we'll be bringing you the Fans Choice show very soon. It has a bunch of matches taken from our exclusive W3L DVDs, and there are polls up on our social media for you to choose what matches you want to see. So get in touch with us via social media and interact with W3L.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a singles match set for one fall and is for the W3L Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first of all your challenger. He is from the Kingdom of Lanarkshire, weighing 92 kilograms. This is James Shooter Scott. And ladies and gentlemen, introducing his opponent, he is from Kirkcaldy in Fife, weighing 235 pounds, the W3L Heavyweight Champion, the Merchandise Mike Musso!
It's Joe Fordyce here in W3L Unlocked with his Heavyweight Championship defence. I'm sure you're familiar with both competitors. Mike Musso in the purple and silver, he is the defending champion. And then we've got James Scott, the wrestler, trying to grab the title. But of course, he can take hold of it. It won't technically be his. He has to defeat Musso to win. There is to win the championship. Something that he has actually done before. This is sort of a reigniting of an old rivalry. Both going to be around W3 for quite a while. Musso especially, he's been here since day one. He is the backbone of this organisation and has no prouder moment than when he is representing W3L, particularly as the heavyweight champion. He's on his 6th reign, which is frankly unprecedented. And he's had some amazing defences. James Scott just arguing with everybody in sight. And if you've never seen James Scott before, that's hardly an indication of his ability. Don't think he's all mouth, he can definitely back up. Now, I mentioned before, Scott has beat Musso. So Mike Musso is a 6-time heavyweight champion and a 3-time tag team champion here in WTL. Scott has held the heavyweight title twice and the tag team title 4 times. Now, his first heavyweight championship, his muscles Musso in the corner, using a handful here while he does it though. April of 2010, when he defeated Mike Musso. So James Scott has got what it takes to pin Musso's shoulders to the mat and take the heavyweight title. It's something he's done in the past. It's something he would dearly love to do again. A second reign came in April 2017, defeating the one and only Nathan Reynolds. And as for the tag team title, of course, James Scott 3 times held with the contingency plan. And the plan's second reign came at the expense of the aforementioned Nathan Reynolds. And that man there, Mike Musso, as you can see, is able to play the same tactics that Scott plays with by pulling the hair and stuff. So taking the arm. So these two men have exchanged titles. They've wrestled each other before, as Scott immediately goes to the ropes, but of course that was a long time ago. Both men have matured and improved. And Scott just stalling, just breaking the momentum. Just gets away, so it means that obviously Musso can't pin him or submit him on the floor. Scott can be counted out, of course. That means that he gets to dictate the pace somewhat. Musso still wait for him. Scott just takes his time. It's funny when you see James Scott in his early days. He was more of a kind of faster paced, high flying athlete. And as time's gone on, he has diversified. He's bulked up. He's become a lot more powerful and incorporates a lot of martial arts and grappling techniques into his skill set. Almost a lot of hard strikes as well. As you can see, he doesn't wear knee pads anymore. So he's certainly a confident man. Certainly has a lot of grappling ability, a lot of striking ability. And Musso's only well too aware of that. Impressive strength. I told you that Scott was a powerful man, and he always wants to prove it. And immediately in the midsection. And that's been the sort of tactics that Scott has employed over the years. He first appeared in W3L back in September 2005. And he was initially in the tag team ranks. That's when he won his first tag team championship. But he would eventually break out and go solo. And as I say, he became the heavyweight champion, defeating another Mike Musso. And then, to one reason or another, he was away from WPL for a while. Made his return in 2015 as Musso just knocks him down there. Scott again breaks the momentum by going to the floor. Came back in 2015. Scott's right by the camera. As part of the contingency plan. Oh, doesn't like Mike Musso, it seems. Yeah, returned in a tag team match, a tag team tables match. That's when the plan won the tag team titles for the second time from Reynolds and Musso. And of course, you know the chaos the contingency plan caused. They ran roughshod he, Taylor, Bryden and Dickie Divers all over W3L, multiple time tag team champions, wreaked havoc wherever they went. To see, just throws away at Musso there. Now going to the arm. See, he does have that wrestling ability. In fact, he's recently opened a wrestling school through the west of Scotland. He's now training other people. Hopefully he's just training them in the art of professional wrestling and not to be the cheats and rule breakers that he often is. It's the last thing that we need. James going his second heavyweight title, as I said, in April 2017. Defended it against loads of people, most notably against Bram in a pair of matches. If you were at the venue in Wester Hales when they went all around the building and smashed everything up, you've not forgotten that one, I'm sure. Oh, hold on, cover! Did that false get anywhere match at the Summer Spectacular as well. It's a couple of strong defences against Bram, who'd eventually lose it in a three-way to Reynolds and Blondie Barrett back at Resolution 11 in 2017. And then Scott disappeared. Took some time off, just healed a few niggling injuries, sorted himself out, refocused, and came back at Resolution 13 last year, battling Taylor Bryden, because of course, as you know, he runs Musso at the post. Now that's bad news. Musso's hit that post before. Craig Stevens threw him into it, and we saw the damage it caused him, the concussion. Scott put a chair down. I was mentioning very quickly that the contingency plan was disintegrated. Bryden and Divers at each other's throats, so Scott came back to face Bryden to try and straighten him out. Did not work out that way, and then we saw Divers and Scott double teaming the very good Mr. Euan G. Mackie. Here comes James Scott. Oh, he went face first at the chair. Took a little too long. When you're facing somebody that knows you, somebody like Mike Musso, you don't want to give him a moment, but he did, and James Scott bounced his face off that chair. Musso's got to hold him with a headlock. He's got another chair, as if one wasn't bad enough. And now what's Musso got in mind? And nails him in the clothesline. Didn't realise it was a reclining chair. The referee trying to get them both back into the ring. So of course the match can only really be won or lost in there. Referee doing a fine job of not counting both participants out. There would be cause for that, I would have thought. Musso's going to take the top rope. And it's stuff like this that makes Musso so popular. He's got that never quit, never say die attitude. Oh, and Scott's got him. And I think he's got him somewhere tender as well. And a big slam off the top rope. Musso bounced. That canvas is not soft at all. Some rings have a lot more given than the W3L one does. I think that's being bounced off that chair was probably a bit softer than landing in the W3L ring. See Scott's turned things round. He's got Musso in the corner. Still just jaw-jacking with the fans. I guess that's the confidence in James Scott, confidence in his abilities. There's a reversal. And he went hard in that corner. Okay, in case you're thinking that the turnbuckle pads are thickly padded, trust me, they're not. They are really just kind of fabric with a little thin padding over a thick metal hook. When you hit them at the velocity that Scott did, it forces the pad back and the hook digs into your back. So I mean, it does cause you damage. Anybody that thinks that the wrestling is like a playground and it's all soft like a bouncy castle clearly hasn't ever been in the W3L ring. Every part of it will cause you pain, including the ring post that Musso's getting his hand smacked off. It's not good at all. Like I said, Mike Musso, a man who's been here since the start. He's carried W3L to the good times and the bad, to the thick and the thin. He initially started the tag ranks as well, very much like James Scott, and was of course a tag team champion very early on. Won his first heavyweight title in the March of 2007 from the natural Alan Grogan. And I mean, everybody who's anybody has faced Mike Musso in W3L. It's like a rite of passage, as Scott choking on the ropes. Everybody faces Mike Musso. Now look, using it for an assist, pulling the rope so he can dig that heel even harder into Musso's throat. Musso's had some massive feuds over the years. Who can forget his wars? And trust me, they were wars with David Paris. Some of the things that happened, I mean, they broke out the boundaries of being just a wrestling contest. You know, getting other people involved. If you saw the match, you'll know what I mean. You can see he warred with Damien O'Connor over the heavyweight title. Damien O'Connor, of course, the man better known as Killian Dane in NXT. He and Musso went to war a whole bunch of times. Nathan Reynolds, Musso's fought with. Who can forget their matches where they went to 30-minute time limit and still had enough left of time to keep going. Very impressive stuff. He feuded with the very good Mr. Euan G. Mackie, which you've already heard, going on Judge Rinder as well. That's how bad things got. The wars with Joey Legend. Legend was the most violent champion in WTL history. Scott's got butterflies, go for the butterfly circles. Of course, most notably recently Craig Stevens. I mentioned that when he got round the post. It's Mike Musso with a backdrop. Stevens ran Musso at the ring post head first on 2 occasions, giving him a concussion. Down goes James Scott. So Musso's fought everywhere and he has kept going. That's what fans love about him. And Scott gets the knees up. And that is the converse of everything I've just been saying. Because he's been around for so long, because he's been part of WTL since the start, there's so much footage of him available. 5 years worth of wrestling showdown to watch, all the exclusive WTL DVDs, all the copious amounts of live events. Musso's always there, he likes that big splash. And it's sometimes quite easy to get an idea of what sort of things he's going to do. And James Scott knows it, because again, they've fought many times before. Scott just going to see how he slows the pace down, because he's got things going his way. And he's got hold of Musso's hair and his arm, and now runs the arm at the post. He slapped the hand into it and now the arm. See Musso trying to get some feeling back into it. Getting right by the camera here. What will Scott do now? And they're right beside the stage. I think he just rammed Musso's arm right in that stage. Maybe Scott's content with the count out. He won't win the title, but he'll get a victory. He's saying he's done. Because Musso does like a lot of strikes. He likes to pick people up, a lot of slams and stuff. That makes it very hard when your arm is injured. And Scott obviously knows it. He's got trapped in the corner here. And what will Scott go for next? Oh, runs right with a knee lift. Oh, Musso's going to have all the air taken out of him there. And there's nobody that James Scott will not badmouth. Lovely suplex. And immediately floats over at the cover. And then puts some weight over the shoulders as well. But it didn't quite do the trick. Scott showing a couple of signs of frustration here. He's got trapped. This is where Scott is at his most dangerous, when he's got you down, when he's weakened you. So he just take his pot shots. Now he's just gnawing on the head of Musso, of all things. I mentioned that James Scott has got a lot of kind of like legitimate grappling and martial arts in his arsenal. Gnawing on someone's head is not part of that. But Scott does it just because he can, because he wants to. And licking his boot, I'm guessing for good luck, but it wasn't good luck. Musso got his boot up. No idea how that tasted compared to James Scott's. Clothesline, but with the bad arm, and that was instinct on Musso's part. Pure instinct, and you see how it took him a few seconds to go for and make the cover, and that's what has cost him there. Out of pure instinct, he hit the close with a bad arm, and of course he had to fight through the resulting pain. See again, it's just natural. Your body often moves on autopilot, I think, at times when you're wrestling like that. Hits the avalanche. And Scott looks like he's out on his feet. One more, says Musso. Because he gets the adrenaline flowing. Won't even feel the pain. But firing these fists at the head of James Scott. Lands 10 punches. And Scott is reeling. Musso calling for a face buster. And that's one of his favourites. And a knee lift. Could be a Mike Musso match without a knee lift, I tell you. And I think Musso's looking to end this one. You really don't want to give James Scott more opportunity than he has, because he can turn the match around against you. When Musso's not careful, his sixth reign will be coming to an end. Imagine that, James Scott winning the heavyweight championship again. Oh, see, slides at the back. The arm giving Musso some grief. And now Scott's got him up and slams him down. And James Scott, I think, is about to become your brand new W3L heavyweight champion, but it won't be yet, because Mike Musso powering out. He got slammed down with some authority there, and Scott cannot believe it. He planted Musso. That would have ended pretty much any other match that Musso kicked out, kept going. And that is the heart and the desire that he has shown over the years here in W3L. And Scott's someone jumping his head. Doesn't really do a lot of high flying, not these days. Did in the past, but not now. Musso got out of the way and hooks the arms. Oh, pulls him down the backslide and holds him in place. And Mike Musso pins James Scott. Avoided the foot stop, caught with the backslide.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match and still W3L Heavyweight Champion, Mike Musso!
So the merchandise retains the heavyweight title against James Scott.
So we're nearly at our last match. Hopefully you've enjoyed this edition of W3L Unlocked. It was just something that we could try and do to help pass the time. I know it's not great if we haven't been stuck indoors all the time. And yes, Showdown is there every Sunday at 12 o'clock. There's 5 years worth of episodes. If you go to the W3L network page, you will see playlists for them all. You can watch them to your heart's content. That'll help pass the time. again, look on our social media for the Fans Choice Show, and you can vote in that, of course. And so, yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. And it's about time for our last match. And in all my time in professional wrestling, I have learned that only 3 things that are certain in life: death, taxes, and that everybody loves a rumble. So what better way to end this show than by having ourselves a rumble? Let's get to Edinburgh and have our last match of W3L Unlocked.
This is our last match we have for you here on W3L Unlocked, and what better way to end it than with a rumble. Of course, you know the rules. Throw somebody over the top rope, the feet hit the floor and they are out here, and the last man left is the winner. And we've got Christopher Saint in the black, Mike Musso in the blue. Saint saying he wants a handshake. I'm entirely sure he should be trusted. Mike certainly isn't going to trust him, and Saint pummeling him and raking at the eyes. I mean, the draw hasn't been kind to Christopher Saint, let's be honest. Not only is he in first, but he's in with the heavyweight champion, which is no easy task, let's be honest. Although, if he eliminates Musso quickly, it could be an opportunity for management to give him a potential title opportunity. Who's holding Saint with ease. And down he goes. Saint recently wrestled Joey Legend in Wrestling Showdown. I'm not sure what he prefers, being in the rumble against Mike Musso, having led him one-on-one. Getting a countdown. Oh, Saint's over the top. Remember, your feet hit the floor and you're out of here. And, oh, look at this. It's Bobby Roberts. Now, here's a man who's been allied with Christopher Saint in the past. And Saint managed Roberts when he challenged Kevin Williams to the Wrestling Showdown Championship last year. So there's 2 men that don't necessarily always see eye to eye, but have been allied in the past. The 2 of them are obviously going to take on Mike Musso. And you've got and Saint went in the corner as the turnbuckle pad falls off, and he's just crashed in, and he makes it even worse because Bobby Roberts hits him as well. And that's probably the worst of the lot, as Bobby Roberts takes Christopher Saint. Yeah, let's not go there. And so Mike Musso in the advantageous position of being in control no matter where he was, but again, we're going to have bodies filling this ring up. We need to get them out and over the top rope as quickly as is possible. To get another participant, let's find out who it's going to be. There's Taylor Bryden. He's coming at the ring, and he's going straight after Christopher Saint. He's been in the longest. I'm trying to get a turnbuckle pad back on as Musso clobbering Bobby Roberts. Ramming shoulders into him as Taylor Bryden raining fists down upon the head of Christopher Saint. And now Musso getting the same idea. He's going to rain some fists down. And Bryden trying to eliminate Saint, who holds on, really battering at the hands. Getting your feet touch the floor, you are gone. Saint wrapping himself around the ropes. And the participant coming in shortly. And Bryden with the head is steaming that drop kick. Saint hits the floor, he is out. Who rakes the eyes of Bryden. Who are going to get in next? Oh my god, it's the Tormentor. They've unleashed the Tormentor. And I fear for all 4 men in this match. Deadliest man in all professional wrestling. Bryden takes down the shots. He knows he gives him a second, the Tormentor will flatten him. As Bryden smashed him in that clothesline. I really need to stay on the Tormentor, I think. It's the best thing to do. The best defense is a good offense. Oh, Bryden took his eyes off Saint. And then goes over to Musso. Tormentor just biding his time in the apron. Doesn't need to fight, so he's going to just wait. Let everybody else wear themselves down. Good strategy. You're seeing choking Musso and Bryden trying to be tipped over the top by Bobby Roberts. Another participant about to come in. Waiting notes here. Who's going to come in next? Leo King. Stomping away in the Tormentor. A cocky individual is Leo King, but can't deny success. Look at this. Saint and Roberts double teaming Musso with that shoulder tackle. Big double striking. Bryden just being left to catch a breath. Saint's gone down, Roberts in the corner. Here comes Musso. He used to be in the battle before. Bryden trying to eliminate the Tormentor. I think you want somebody that digs out then as quickly as is possible. Next entrant about to appear, who can it be? And it's KJ Nitro. He goes straight after Leo King. He's had his eyes in that Breakout Championship. Bryden trying to hoist Saint over the top rope. And raking at the eyes is Bobby Roberts. Kingston Taylor Bryden. Nitro trying to get Leo King out. And Musso takes the back rake from Saint as a Tormentor just hides in the corner, watching his prey. Who's he going to attack next? Nobody is safe from the Tormentor. Looks like it's going to be Christopher Saint. And he drags him out of the corner. Oh, and Saint poked him in the eye. Tormentor threatened him. We could get another entrance. We'll find out who this is going to be. Nobody's been eliminated as of yet. Saint and Musso Dogs. And my God! We never thought this would happen. It is the one and only Johnny Hollywood. If you know wrestling, you will have heard of Johnny Hollywood. Who expect him to turn up here? Look at this guy with the fur coat. I believe he skinned the animal himself. It is Johnny Hollywood. This man, he is a strawberry blonde haired guy. He's tough as nails. He's got hands like frozen turkeys, ladies and gentlemen. And everybody is in awe of the fact that Johnny Hollywood has appeared. Who thought we'd be seeing him here in W3L? But Johnny Hollywood has arrived. And business has picked up, and this is the guy that's going to win. He has to, as he smashes Nitro. And Nitro and Bryden know they have to double team Johnny Hollywood, because he is that dangerous, that deadly. Again, his reputation precedes him. Everyone in wrestling knows Johnny Hollywood. Nobody wants to face him because they know what will happen if they do. And now everybody's having to gang up on him. And the same way you gang up on likes of Andre the Giant, that's what you do with Hollywood. Oh, look at the cleverness of Johnny Hollywood. Wraps his arms in the rope so can't get eliminated. Oh, but took his eyes off the ball, and Taylor Bryden knocks him to the floor. Well, that was certainly unexpected. Never thought we'd be seeing that. As our last entrant about to appear is KJ Nitro being attacked by Christopher Saint in the corner. There's Musso and Leo King, the Tormentor, just biding his time, staying fresh, don't attack anybody. Bobby Roberts and Taylor Bryden in the corner. And it's Joey Legend, the former W3L Heavyweight Champion. Look at this, Christopher Saint. He's going straight for him, it looks like. And Joey Legend just smashing Saint around. Again, they fought before, now he's grabbed the Tormentor. Joey Legend's got no fear. He's been wrestling for decades, so it's hardly a surprise, I guess. Oh, the Tormentor firing away on him. Leo King trying to take it. Mike Musso targeting his back. Tormentor off the ropes. Oh, hold on. Legend pulled the rope down. Tormentor's landed on the ring apron. And a massive shot to the face, and out goes the Tormentor. And KJ Nitro gets dumped by Christopher Saint. Oh, the boys are flying over the top rope here. Legend's got hold of Saint, or had, but Saint goes to the eyes. Musso lifting up King, trying to suplex him, and he's landing on the ring apron. Bobby Roberts trying to get Joey Legend out with some help from Christopher Saint. And Leo King gets snapped in the top rope, but he's holding on. And he's holding for dear life as well. Bryden grabbing Saint, trying to tip him out. Musso working on the fingers of Leo King. And down he goes. Leo King is gone. And Saint on the apron again, wrapping himself round the rope. We're down to our final 4. It's Bobby Roberts, it's Joey Legend, Christopher Saint and Mike Musso. Well, 5 out, sorry, Taylor Bryden's here as well. Oh, and a low blow! And out he goes, it is definitely final 4. And Saint and Musso, oh, Musso hitting a low blow. Saying you want, oh, and now Saint hits a low blow. What is with all the attacking of delicate areas? We've seen a lot of that in this match. And Saint with fingers down the back. And it's Roberts and Saint against Musso and Legend. 2 former heavyweight champions. Is Musso currently the heavyweight champion? So hold on, Roberts has got hold of him. Oh, and Saint smacked Roberts. Oh, and he did not like that. Musso's grabbed him and runs their heads together. Now ideally he wants to get one of these guys out ASAP. Roberts is the biggest man out the 2 of them. Oh, and he dumps Musso. Raked his eyes and tips over the top rope. Also these. It is Legend, it is Saint and Bobby Roberts. And I think Joey Legend has become a marked man. Because look at this. Oh wow. Roberts is taking his t-shirt off. Throws it in the face of Legend. Disorientates him enough for them to double team him. Perhaps there was a pre-match agreement made between Roberts and Saint. Who can say? But suffice to say, Joey Legend in a bad position. Trapped between these 2 men. And now Saint being launched in. Squash the Legend in the corner. Oh, here comes Roberts. He's going for it now. Oh, no, runs at the feet of Legend. Saint comes in. And Legend just sidesteps and flows him out the ring. And there's the 2 big men left. And Legend trying to get Roberts over. He's a big lad to be doing that to. And Christopher Saint still on the floor. Clocks Joey Legend. He got his arm pinned back. Oh, Roberts has just knocked Saint off the apron. And Legend, it's no easy task, but he's hoisted him up. Can he get him out? And he hits the floor. And Joey Legend wins the Rumble to end this edition of W3L Unlocked. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed it. Please stay safe. Check out Wrestling Showdown every Sunday at 12 o'clock on the W3L Network.